Hello and welcome back, everybody, for our halftime show for the final series of the day. As is tradition here to close out the day, we like to play a little game show, up the energy a little bit for our casters who have been having a long day casting some League of Legends games. And this time around, we are bringing back Pixel Perfect, the game where I test the memory of two different casters, see who remembers the game of League of Legends that they just casted better, play-by-play casters or color casters. So let's bring on the contestants. We got Cubby and Magical. Now, Magical, this is your first time playing this game. Have you seen Rafa play before?
I watch the games, you know. I make sure that I'm keeping up with everything. So I know the premise of the game. I just haven't played it myself.
Then you should know that you're in the hot seat because play-by-plays are actually ahead right now. It's 3-1 in the 4 times that we've played this game. So, Cubby, any defense for the color casters?
No, last time I was here, I couldn't remember myself talking about eating 10 bags of Skittles in one sitting. So that was...
you were a prompt. Literally your face and
it's
body.
a tough look.
You can't even remember.
On all sides. But, you know, we're going to bring it back this time.
And
look, you might have an advantage today. I'm sorry, Rafa. I'll do my best, but today is just not my day right now.
Well, let's get right into it then. Stop wasting any time to see how well Cubby can remember the game and look at the rules. So we do have this slide. These are the points that you can earn. 16-bit, pretty easy to tell what's happening on the screen. You just need to remember what's going on. Those are worth 1 point. 8-bit, a little harder to tell. A little more pixelated, a little more blurry. Those are worth 3 points. And then the 1-bit, good luck, man, because those ones can get really tough and, of course, are worth 3 points. Cubby, you get first
You already know
pick.
what I'm going to say.
Where do you want to start?
If you remember.
All right. All right. So 1-bit.
I was about to say, he's not a coward, is he? I would be so disappointed. What?
Oh, that's Rob who goes for 1-bit. You like to split the... Yeah, you like to split the middle. So 8-bit. 8-bit. Worth 2 points. All you have to do is give me the context of this screenshot that I've taken from the game.
What do we got?
What was going on here in the game that you just casted?
16-bit. Come on.
That one's easy.
Come on.
Come on.
You think so?
Chad didn't pick up the Rift Herald.
What is it?
It was left very much alone. Yeah.
All right. We'll take that as the answer. Let's see. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like,
that
like
was
a
pretty
sad
easy.
sap on
You know
Valentine's Day. Just all honest notes.
That's a gimme point. Come on.
Not a gimme
this
point.
was, of course, that moment.
2 points.
It was so sad.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was so sad. He goes in, he gets the steal, and then they can't even get anybody in to pick up the objective that they just stole. So, yeah, that's a bummer. 2 points, though, over to Cubby. Not too bad of a start. So, Magical, you are up next.
I'm no coward.
Where do you want to go? 16-bit?
I'm no coward.
8-bit or 1-bit?
I am no coward.
What does that mean?
No.
I think it means
1-bit.
1-bit?
Yeah.
All right. Play-by-plays
No
love the
coward.
1-bits. I think this is something I can safely say now. All right, this one's interesting. Tell me what's going on, the context of this image.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like I'm trying to remember this. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, when was this?
This is so obviously.
Level 12.
Yeah, there's a Graves level 12. And
There's a shotgun shell.
Yeah, there's a shotgun shell. I'm just trying to figure out if that's the dragon. I feel like that's
This is a
the
crime
ocean
scene?
dragon. I think this is the ocean dragon where they dove
Okay.
where we saw the attempted pick on to Rosethorn when he was in the pit, but they were able to turn it back and actually win the fight.
Attempted pick on Rosethorn in
Yeah,
the pit. Who turned it?
CLG. CLG were able to turn it back and then fight above
Let's hear
the
it.
dragon.
Let's hear it. Drumroll says.
Oh.
That is not correct.
Oh.
That is not correct. Cubby, you have a chance to steal. You have a chance to steal and jump ahead.
To be fair,
major
Matt
points
Magical
right
did a
now.
good
When
job
was
of
this?
like getting me 3/4 of the way there. So I'm gonna go with this was the ocean dragon that Immortals were able to. They picked up, but they lost the fight.
Picked up, but they lost
Yeah,
the
that
fight.
one.
Okay.
Is that not what
All
I
right.
just said?
Let's check. Let's check.
Okay.
That
I
is
was about
not
to say,
correct.
that's
I thought
like
you said
literally
That
what
is
I
not
said.
Picked
correct.
it
You
up.
were both so
No,
close.
no. It was the
You were
fight from
both so
Immortals, almost to
close.
pick on Rosethorn, and then CLG fought back.
Give me the full picture.
So this was It was the Ocean Dragon. It was Immortals getting it, but Immortals won this fight, guys. Immortals actually got a 2-for-1. They push CLG off of the objective. They get a couple of kills, and then they get out and they get the objective after. This was like the last sign of life from Immortals, essentially. This is when they were still able to fight back and find one play.
Got it. Okay.
So, okay.
Well,
no points for either of you on that one.
Yeah. That said, you know what? Give me another Goldilocks. I want to be up 4.
You want to go up another Goldilocks? All right, so this is the last of the 8-bits then. That means that no more 2 points will be available after this. Let's see if Cubby can take it right now. What is the context of this screen grab here?
What? I mean, I know it's a Trinimir getting a kill, but like, what the heck's going on with the rest of it?
There's a lot happening in this. If like once you see the big one, you'll understand.
Is this the top lane turret dive where he got the solo bolo after forcing out the ghost, where he had red buff and ghost advantage?
Ooh. Let's hear. Let's hear. It sounded good.
Honestly,
absolutely.
I couldn't tell if this was like the dragon wall or if this was the top lane turret.
Yeah, it was hard.
I get that angle because like you can see like the ghost stuff like at like the bottom of the turret. I thought that was a river or like water, so that's why I was kind of tripped up.
Yeah. Well, you also see like the animation, like the kind of particle effects above him, so everything's just blurry in there. Maybe that one was more close to a 1-bit than an 8-bit, but hey, congratulations, you're now up 4 points to 0. Actually, you got some ground to make right here for Team Play-by-Play. Right back to 1-bit?
1-bit.
All right.
Yep, I'm no coward.
All right, right back to 1-bit. The final 1-bit option. This would put you within 1 point striking distance of Cubby. What is the context of this image right here on screen?
This is tough.
This is the flash forward. This is the flash forward from Prismal inside the base of Immortals. This is where he
got it.
Yeah, this is where yeah.
Drum roll.
That's it.
That's a goodie.
It's sounded good. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was the flash forward from Prismal. He was trying so hard to end it right here. And then they just couldn't quite make the final push. Obviously, they still won the game afterwards, but Prismal, he was ready to go home. He had something to get to.
At least I didn't get shut out. That's all that matters for me.
True. And it is within 1 point now.
I gotta get this to secure.
It is 4-3.
It's an easy one, so there's no excuse.
If you get the 16-bit, then you have this. All right. This one's interesting. Well, let's see. Let's see if you get it. What is the context, Cubby, of this image?
I swear it's another picture of me.
I know.
Oh, this is where they were waiting to get Prismal after he had no sums double 2-bot, which I can see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll run it. I'll run it. Drum roll, and of course, Wow. How did you know? How could you possibly tell? This was a little troll from Prismal. I'm not going to lie. Walking way past his top catch to push out the wave in a very non-defensive way.
Is it just from Immortals? No, it's kind of troll. Yeah.
I would say a good default as an 80 carry to stay safe is not walk in front of your wave at any time.
Or you don't scout that brush with a Q from your green gun.
Sure.
But
all options are viable. That means you win, Cubby. It is 5 points to 3. We have one more magical. Let's do it. Let's do the last one, just for fun. This is your first time playing. So what's going on in this image? Because I'm hearing that we have a little bit before Champ Select starts anyway.
Oh, this is the flash flay forward from Joey at level 1. I mean, it's I can see the levels. I can see the flash.
Yeah. Well, see, this is a 16-bit. You know, it's meant to be.
You should have given me like the alt cove where I could barely see till I'm catch or something.
It feels more like charity, but you know,
make it a little bit more challenging. That was like the easiest question of the entire game.
You must think that we really suck at this game. If those,
I mean, he started off with the Rift Herald Eye that we clearly knew that wasn't picked up.
Maybe I'm just trying to convince people to choose the 16-bit to start off. You know, work up the confidence rather than jumping in for the hard ones. The big thing about that is Joey being that willing to flash forward, to trade flashes with Prismal, while Chad was pathing bot side. They attempted that dive under turret, weren't really able to pull it off, but they still denied Prismal like a full wave and then also got a turret played. So that was a pretty big impact.
I think a big part of that as well was spotting Rosethorn level 1. That enables Joey to go for that when they know that Rosethorn is pathing bot the top, because then they just drop that one trinket. If Rosethorn doesn't gank on that timer, it's the bot lane's pretty much won, and that's exactly what Chad tried to do, but it was not enough for Immortals to run with that.
Yeah, and then Prismo got further punished from walking forward and dying in lane, but it evened out after CLG had that Herald play. They denied the Rift Herald pickup after the steal, and then Prismo was just bot side there at Herald, and he got 2 turret plates for himself, so he's like, all right, I'm back in the game. Okla got 3 plates up top side after that, so you're right, Cubby, in your assessment. It is so hard to actually bury CLG. No matter what you do in the early game, it feels like they can still make those comebacks. And I'm hearing that we're ready for pick and ban finally for game number 2. I'm excited to see what Immortals have prepared here. And I'm going to pass it one more time back over to Magical and Cubby to take us away for the final game.
Thank you again, Kangas. That was a fun game to play. Make them harder next time, though. Too easy. Way too easy. But, well, that's something for next time. Now we've got to focus on our final game of the day.
The loser's saying it's too easy.
It was. I mean, I thought even that last question was way too easy for me. It's like, come on, I want a challenge. I want it to be like it's neck and neck. We're not sure what's going on. We got to really think and dive into this. But speaking of diving into things.
Hopefully, our game 2 is like that.
That's what I was just about to do. I was about to get us right on topic with game 2, final game of the day for week 5, day 1. As we jump into the champion select, Ivern, again, banned first against Pretty after those dominating performances he had last week to start off our Super Week on that champion. Nobody seems too keen to let him have that.
I think it's reasonable, especially with how Immortals have been able to play with that. It's really been good at empowering Chad, which I think is something that we talked about Immortals empowering their rookies, leaning into some of their strengths. That's definitely something that has been a strength for Chad, who, keep in mind, 6 months ago, he was a solo queue player. He was plucked right out of solo queue to 100 next, then on 100 Thieves Academy, and then he won Proving Grounds with that roster. So the really trajectory of growth from this player is rather insane. And I think that a lot of people kind of forget that, like, hey, this is his first split in the Academy because he has already won Proving Grounds. So I think now that we're seeing more games out of Chad, more games out of Immortals, and how they are able to empower him, that Ivern's been a big part of it. And I like the fact that CLG are taking that away. But Immortals, one of the adaptations we have is they're dropping the Karma ban for the Xin Zhao. And the immediate response from CLG, they're taking that Karma.
Well, there's also Caitlyn. Caitlyn wide open for either team. And the fact that wasn't first picked by CLG, I almost wonder if we just see that it immediately locked in for Immortals.
Well, Prismal isn't exactly known as a Caitlyn player. In fact, his first competitive game of Caitlyn was in Super Week. Now, on the flip side, Arrow is. Arrow loves Caitlyn. So I think that we're going to see the Caitlyn Nox versus the Ezreal Karma. This is something that is a very common trade that we have seen over in LCK. But just given that we still are on 12.3, we haven't seen Smite Enchantress top laners yet in the Academy meta. Part of me hopes that we don't, but it is a Karma, so I do have to bring it up. I don't know what happened on the other stream today, so we'll end up seeing. They're going to wait, though, to take the Lux, as they want more info to see if that is going to be a Karma bot. I want to highlight the Jarvan. It's a good pick for Chad, as I think now 1 and 3 on the Jarvan, but it's even more of a takeaway from Rosethorn. Right. Rosethorn's Jarvan this season, it's his most played. It's 6-0 with an 8.1 KDA. He's been really good on that pick, and I already think it's a tough draft to play the Jarvan into, because when you're playing Jarvan in a Karma Ezreal, that feels really tough.
It does, and it almost makes me think that Pretty's going to go back on Decilium this game. Just because you need to be able to follow up a lot easier into the movement speed, the shields, the dashes that you have just from the bot lane alone.
Yeah, the issue with Zilean is that, yeah, you have all that move speed, but you get pretty drastically outranged by the Ezreal and the Karma, and CLG leaning even harder into that poke identity, now blinding the Corki, who, of course, did see some nerfs, a little bit later package timer and a bigger package cooldown on 12.3, but still a champion that, despite those nerfs, has not quite been put to the wayside. And we should see Pretty respond with the Victor, which, to be fair for Immortals, Pretty's Victor has been really good this season. It is 4-1 in 5 plays. So I know that you aren't a huge fan of the Corki Victor matchup, but guess what? We've got it one more time.
I thought I was done. I thought I made it past. I thought it was gone. But here we are, back to the tried and true. And so in the second part of the band,
I like
focus
this matchup.
Why?
Because I know a lot of things about it.
Yeah, okay, you can tell it's smarter, but it's boring.
It is a little bit boring. There are ways for the Victor to make it not boring, and something that we have seen in games where Corkis have lost are early dives mid. that's something that Chad can do on this Jarvan with the Victor. So I want to see if Immortals can set up on that mid lane and try and take down this Corki. And they even have a couple bans to throw at the jungler if they want to. Instead, it actually looks like a couple bans that are potential Renekton counters.
Yeah.
As Graves and Jace have been taken off the table, but keep in mind, this is Concept's champion pool. I expect a Mundo ban here, but you never know what Concept's going to be pulling out.
Oh,
okay.
that's interesting.
So, Prismal did play Kate paired up with Nami into the Ezreal Karma lane. So maybe they know something about this matchup that we don't, but we still expect Joey to be hopping on this Lux.
Right. It's going to be a pretty simple pickup, even if it's not necessarily the strongest into the Ezreal and Karma, just because how they can dodge around a lot of things. There's still a lot of power with that duo in the bot lane, how they're able to work with one another.
And I think importantly enough, that Nami ban, it did force the Mundo ban to drop. And Mundo has been, Dr. Mundo's been one of Concept's best champions, but also into Ezreal and Corki, if you ever get ahead on that Dr. Mundo, you can run through a game. Now, it is tough when you're playing it into Karma, Ezreal, Corki for you to ever get on top of someone, but Concept does have counter pick, so it could take something where he thinks he can win out on that top lane. Whereas Rosethorn, his jungle pool wasn't eliminated too much, and it actually is going to be the least sin for Rosethorn.
There's something that he has played a good amount. Early game pressure that he's able to provide for the team. Works pretty well, but I'm just curious to see what Dokla wants in this top lane. The Renekton was the one that first came to my mind. He does go for this. But Concept. What does Concept want to play into the Crocodilian?
I think it's going to be Mundo. The pick's been that through. It's something that does pretty well in lane into the Renekton.
Mundo.
And
Mundo.
if Mundo really can't die in this game. Now, he can be kited out for ages, but it's going to be really tough for the side of CLG to kill him.
Give me Mundo. Give him to me. Yes, lock it in. I got it.
So Concept is 2-1 on this champion. It has been one of his stronger champs so far in this season. And this does put quite a bit of pressure on CLG to try and break this top lane. Now, on the flip side, Dokla's Renekton. It's 5-0 with a 12.3 KDA. So it has been destroying every top laner that it has gone up against. And
Cubby?
gonna have to see if Dokla can do it against Concept's counter.
I was about to say, I don't even care if it's a counter or not. Concept's Mundo.
Yeah.
That's my whole argument against you.
Okay. I mean, it's fair. Now, one of the ways you can really take Mundo down a peg early is diving in. And I think that this might be an interesting game because Immortals are kind of balancing out a couple things in the fact that you have Chad in this top side where you want to dive mid against the Corki, but you also have to be wary of your top laner getting dove in the first 3 waves. So I really want to see if Immortals can play defense or try and set that up, and then what CLG's response is into that as well.
So do I. It's going to be really interesting to see how CLG play this top side of the map. Mundo, interesting, but easy to dive. And then we look at the bot lane. There is a lot of power on each side. There's going to be the early lane dominance that you have from a Caitlyn Lux combo, but the ability to dodge around a lot of that as Ezreal Karma, it will make things really chaotic. It's the best way I could put it for how Chad and Rosethorn might want to actually play this game.
Chaos is something that we've seen CLG thrive in.
I like chaos.
And it's something that Immortals in this one, if they can create it. Now, we are in the 6th game of the day. In the first game of the day, we did see a Caitlyn and Lux just absolutely smash a map in the 100 Thieves series. So I think that's what Arrow and Immortals going to be trying to do. And I think that is one way we could break what we have from CLG as we are diving into game 2.
People can't see this yet. People can't, now they can see this. They're both grouped up, all of them. Level 1 shenaniganeries abound. Please, I want this.
Oh, so that flag, if it stays, it will spot the rest of CLG. And CLG actually don't know that flag is down. So this is huge for Immortals. As IMT, if they were able to spot that, they can try and set up for a level 1, but you are going into a Karma Ezreal.
No,
it is tough.
Fight them. Fight them, you cowards. I want this.
Based.
No. We're not getting it.
I don't know. Pretty could get caught if they throw out a Q.
No, he's already backed.
Okay. Thank you for the toggle from our observers keeping this one fresh.
Uh-oh, though, Arrow. I don't think he realizes that they're all there. They spotted him out on a ward as well. They could dive over the wall. Dokla, do you pull the trigger? That is it. They got the flash in, but they can follow this up. They could even possibly dive him. No, they're not even going to set it up.
So now CLG, the strength of this Ezreal Karma, not only do they force Arrow to base early, but they can utilize the power of this level 1 to form a split map scenario. So they're splitting the map towards bot. This makes it really difficult for the Caitlyn and Lux to get priority. Not to mention the fact they have to take a late base.
Sorry, I was getting a drink right there. But yeah, it's going to give a lot of control to Prismal and Breezy in the spot lane. Arrow and Joey, there's no flash on Arrow. Normally you talk about the lane dominance that something like Caitlyn Lux can get, but the fact that Rosethorn just stole away a blue buff, and even Chad, he was trying to see if he could grab that before that could happen, is going to lose out on a lot.
And he was spotted on the rotate by that trinket, so he will be going Gromp Wolves into the top side as Rosethorn. Keep in mind, he can go top and try and get a dive or early pressure off onto the Mundo, which is extremely powerful and valuable in this matchup. Now, the perks for Immortals are you have a winning mid lane in Pretty going into triple with this Victor. See a lot of trading. Triple trying to match that early power from the Victor with the Gatling gun. You won't be able to do it, but the big point is when that wave bounces back from the Corki. If Victor is able to punish on that wave, that's where things can get really hairy on the side of triple.
I'm kind of watching Chad's pathing. He's level 3.
This was spotted,
I'll always
though.
say it was spotted, but I'll always say Chad looks for level 3 ganks. Every time we watch him, he always tries to have these plays work out.
And props to Chad is actually, because of the pathing that Rosethorn went for, beat him to the punch, is going to keep one of those Raptors alive. And now Rosethorn looking for the response, trying to find a wraparound on Chad. It will be spotted here as Chad's trying to set up for this dive.
Oh, he body blocks, uses the chicken to his advantage
No
to
way.
get a flag and drag escape out of Chad.
Okay, so at least Rosethorn's able to protect Triple from going down to Chad as he was trying to wrap around for the dive. And with both junglers spotted, Prismal and Breezy are enabled to step up as this bot lane's all about the poke war. When Ezreal Karma start in this lane, they are able to heavily beat that Caitlyn Lux, who, keep in mind, are late.
Yeah, they're late to the party. They're now behind 10 CS here, only 4 minutes into the game. The rough lane
Look at
for
Chad.
Arrow and Joey. That's why they have
This
to
is
call
not
down Chad
spotted.
to help them out.
This could be big. Chad has not been spotted on his way down. Joey, let's see if he burns a flash to try and find the engage.
Looking for it, waiting it out. They're just baiting it for the moment. Flag and Drag was able to get the knock-up onto Breezy.
Nice
with
follow.
the light binding too, even if there's a root coming in to try to turn it back around, it took a long time to be able to kill Breezy, but he finally falls in the fight with Prismal, doing a lot of damage to Chad. 1v3, nearly was able to get him, but that shield was clutch to save his life.
Oh, so first off, Chad, that EQ, he was able to flash follow, so he still gets the knock-up on the Breezy. Nice chain from Joey, some of the mechanics, but Chad, the fact he was able to get out as well, this pretty much saves the bot lane for the side of Immortals, because...
Oh, or does it? Prismal, what a fancy foot there.
Oh my goodness, Prismal's Ezreal, man. The fact that he was able to step up after he lands that W, and now the flip side, Pretty...
Breezy,
Oh,
too.
he guessed
Breezy, he had died. He spawns, goes mid, top lane. Dokla, he's trying to dive concept. He had to flash away, though, because it's still Mundo.
Rosethorn, but the flash predict from Pretty. To be fair, that really is the only place that Pretty could flash, but an explosive early game Mad Magical, and thanks to Prismal, CLG are the ones that end up coming out on top.
Had Prismal not been able to turn that around, to get himself a kill, especially on an Arrow, again forcing this
Yeah.
Caitlyn back. These are huge plays. Then mid lane, because Breezy died,
Check out
he's able to just
Rosethorn.
rotate immediately
Look at
mid.
Rosethorn.
Boop, boop.
Real nice.
Bam.
So I know that Rosethorn, we kind of kicked off this segment talking about how much better Rosethorn has been playing this season, how he is leading junglers in Gold Div at 14. I talked to Prismal as kind of saying like, hey, Rosethorn's been playing really well. You were his teammate last year at Golden Guardians too. Like, what are some of the differences that you have seen from Rosethorn this year? And Prismal said, you know what? His game sense has gotten way better. Like he just knows how to play the map so much better in his second year. And you didn't really have any specifics to credit that for, but he's just said every play that Rosethorn has been making, like, we feel like we have an advantage because he has a good map read. And the other thing he highlighted specifically was Rosethorn's Lee Sin. So nice to see a Q flash predict there coming out of Rosethorn to kind of highlight that too, as we see Rosethorn not only making some nice reads to split the map early, but also utilize that to attack mid lane and turn this matchup that is Victor favored on its head early.
I feel like this year, this split for Academy out of Rosethorn has just been highlight reels on things like Lee Sin. kick that we saw, like, what was it, day 1? That beautiful kick that he had here. A nice predict on his Sonic Wave. This is all working out really well, and then they've got advantages pretty much across the board out of this. Top lane, getting advantages in CS. Jungle already have the kill advantage for Roastern. Mid lane, they got an assist for triple, and bot lane dominating.
I do want to pause, as speaking of bot lane domination, Chad has snuck his way in here. This is not spotted, and Rosethorn now might be spotted mid. Pretty has no flash.
No flash, and it's only level 5 on its side, but he's still got a lot of damage. He doesn't even need a kick to be able to pick up the kill on a Pretty, but that's going to be the Chaos Sword and getting the flash out of him.
Oh! Oh, triple connected with that rocket. That might have been enough, but Pretty actually really well played on his part. And
Chad's been hanging out here for a
Chad.
long time. Flag and drag onto Pretty, the one person who can't easily escape from the fight. They're looking for him. They've got the kill out of Arrow. Prismal, 1v3 again. He can easily get over the wall to escape the damage that could come in from Arrow and Chad, and gets away from the flag and drag, but it's not enough to escape.
Really well played by Chad. He should get picked up here by Rosethorn.
Oh, Rosethorn, yeah. Rosethorn just going to be able to get this kill pretty clean. Not really too worried about him. Even with the flag and drag, it wouldn't have been enough. He would have still died. Rosethorn makes it at least a little bit more even.
This is still well worth it for the side of Immortals, as this Caitlyn Nox lane, if they aren't getting plates, they're going to fall behind. And I know they're still not getting plates, but Chad visiting bot early is at least balancing out this matchup that, because of that level 1, has been able to go so much in the favor of CLG.
And with that, it's a bounce back for Arrow in the spot lane. He was down pretty much 10, 15 CS most this game, even if we're only 8 minutes into it. He's been able to get himself 2 kills now. Got the CS back in a good spot against Prismal. He's going to have a far easier time now.
And the next big play on the map, it's got to be this Rift Herald. As Immortals, they didn't have that early dragon, but Rift is now upon us. And both bot lanes, I'm interested because when you have Ezreal, Karma, and Kate Lux, you want to keep these bot lanes together because they are such powerful duos. But this Rift Herald, if that is the case, at this point, Concept wins this matchup on the Mundo. And Pretty versus Triple, because Triple has that Hex Drinker, it should be a little bit more in the favor of CLG, but if Immortals wants this Rift Herald, they have to attack it the next minute 20. Because if they wait, guess what? Triple gets the package, and then that Rift Herald is off the table. It is CLG. So I want to see if Immortals makes a play for this Rift Herald in the next minute, because if not, that's going to be a big window that is missed and CLG can try and capitalize on.
The fact that Jag got spotted out on that control ward, I don't think they're going to be able to make that play that you wanted to see. Rosethorn's already the first one on the call. Bot lane, there's a little bit of a trade back and forth, but it's all just delaying for the side of Immortals. They are not gaining anything because look at where Chad's pathing.
Chad doesn't care about that Rift Herald. He just cares about getting Kate Lux plates. And Chad has snuck his way in. Won't be spotted out by Breezy, actually. And now CLG, they know. Like, they smell something. But Chad's not spotted.
Now he is spotted and waiting for the Cataclysm. Gets the flash, but that's going to be flag and drag with the final spark kill for Joey as well. Breezy might have been able to flash, but there's still a lot of damage coming in from the members of Immortals.
That's really well played by Chad and Immortals, as that Cataclysm to force that E out. They know Prismal doesn't have flash. It's the easy follow-up from all members of IMT. And I think that Rift Herald trade for them goes in Immortals' favor. We talked about how Kate Lux need plates. That's at least one going over. It's still not this huge bot lane lead where you're just absolutely nuking this side of the map, but they're at least trying to get this Kate ahead and getting Arrow back into this game.
Getting Arrow back in, where he's not going to have to worry too much about that trough, is always a nice thing for Immortals. As you look at the rest of the map and how they are functioning at the moment, I'm just waiting to see when anything happens in this top lane, if anything happens.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Prismal, you're okay? You okay, buddy? I think you should be able to get out. The flash comes in from Joey, but it wasn't enough. He takes a lot of damage from the turret and that Mystic Shot.
They try to get him again with no sums. This time, Prismal doesn't step in front of the wave. I don't want to say he's wiser to it, but is able to at least navigate all the poke. Arrow still has an ultimate that he can throw at Prismal if he wants to on the back half. I think he's going to save that for the next reset. Never mind. What a love tap. Never hurt anyone on the way out.
No, just trying to poke him out, force him back as well, so that way he can only reliably clear out the minion wave. Not actually going to be able to do too much more than that. That's why they had to call it Rosethorn down into the bottom half of the map to move with Breezy as they look to see if they can secure that second dragon of the game.
That was an interesting ult from Prismal.
Well, I understand where he's coming from on it.
Doesn't quite go to the wave, but maybe was trying to spot Shad.
He was trying to get Joey. That's what it was. He wanted to kill. He wanted to kill Lux.
Okay, I can see that. Does go wayside. Dokwa has actually lost almost 2 plates up top. His concept, this Mundo counter, as you pick up levels, starts to get really nice for the Mundo. And CLG, Rosethorn.
Rosethorn pops down. Oh no, Chad didn't
no.
get the flag drag, but it didn't even matter. They already got the kill that they needed to on Prismal. I actually thought that the play was completely botched.
I guess Prismal went a little bit too far up. I maybe didn't calculate the fact that Arrow has a Gale Force, and that's big. They shut down the Rift Herald, and that's plates that should have been in the pockets of CLG, now gone to the wayside. And keep in mind, the trade for that was a dive bot for Immortals, so the fact they connected on that means that they end up ahead. And
now Chad just dies for nothing. They can even jump onto Pretty, taking a lot of damage, waiting for the missiles to connect. You can see that Rosethorn's ready to dive. He wants this victor so bad. Q not going to be able to connect.
Rosethorn
going to be
dead.
Pretty chasing him out, but that's still a lot of damage.
Yeah.
It is a shutdown for Pretty.
All right, so things got a little bit sloppy and silly.
It's not done. We're not done. Hold on, because
It's top lane's turn.
Okay, no. Now we're done.
Immortals are, in this game, Immortals are starting to win these hand checks. As I know that they're doing it when sums are down for CLG, but it is Immortals opting into those fights, and things are turning out in their favor, as I might have lied. Concept now being hunted by a Corki.
Oh, Concept, you just got to commit for the back. You can't feign it. You can't stay in the lane.
Thumbs up to Dokwa, who, you know, keeps on playing on cruise control in these matchups. Dokwa really has been having a fantastic split. I know that Concept's counter pick has been going all right for him, but things now turned back in favor of CLG, at least in that top side, as Immortals continues the threat, I should say, on the bot side. And Chad thinks he can win this. Dokwa doesn't have ults.
No, and Chad doesn't have enough damage to be able to fully fight. Even if you're able to look for that Cataclysm on top of him, you still need a little bit more to be able to take down someone who's 3 levels over you.
Chad might be in trouble now, though.
No, he has flash. He does have flash to be able to get out. I was a little worried that he didn't have that available, but he has that so he can get out. Getting a flash off of Chad. Rosethorn can allow Dokla now to escort more minions and get another plate for himself.
Yeah, that's still Chad going for that play. It does still open up the response from Rosethorn, and Rosethorn is now trying to get up in the face of Chad even more. Can he get this red buff away?
He's just going to get it. It's reset, so at least burning a lot of time for Chad, right?
Yeah.
And this game, it has been chaotic. It's kind of been all over the place. And despite that, ruining your perfect stats when it comes to early games for CLG. We're 14 minutes in, and they're behind in gold.
I credit Immortals attacking bot lane relentlessly, and also this counter pick for Concept, as his Mundo, we said it's 2-1 this split. Something that Concept has always played, no matter what the meta is. It's paying off for Concept as he knows this matchup. He did go down once to a triple roam, but he's been neutralizing Dokka's Renekton, something that, to be fair, really no other team has been able to do.
Rosethorn's in the bot lane, but so is Chad. Both teams looking for the play. A lot of damage onto Rosethorn with the poke coming in from Joey and Arrow. Not going to open up anything further. Instead, clearing out the minion waves, getting a CLG to have to reset the map.
And you can see Concept, now that he has this turret down, immediately going to take away some jungle camps from Rosethorn. CLG doesn't like that. They might be trying to turn it.
Concept had that ult, and he had flash still up. Didn't burn it before when Triple had shown up in the top lane. This gives so much free time. The fact that they have to focus on this Mundo means that the bot lane, that had been focused on by Chad for so long to get them back into a better state, has been able to get themselves the turret.
And Immortals win on both sides as they take away the blue buff with the pressure from Concept. They now take away the bot lane turret as that lane pays off. And now Dokwa, it's a level 2 ult from Concept, so he doesn't have the damage to get through the healing, and Concept's able to cruise on out.
Especially because he has that Bramble Vest. It's not easy for a lot of that damage to stick from Dokla. He's got to get through so many resistances out of this Mundo, plus he's not able to heal up as much.
Prismo will respond in kind with the bot lane turret. This does open up the Rift Herald to maybe go over IMT, and it appears CLG has spotted this, so we might have a skirmish up top.
I'm expecting that. Prismo can't join into this. He doesn't have TP. He doesn't even have True Shot Barrage up to be able to help out anything. Pretty, he is matching in the bot lane, so it will be a 4v4.
I think Rosethorn is just trying to reset the aggro on the Rift Herald by pulling it up, and actually does so successfully. So well done. At least CLG is able to deter that initial play. Now both monster objectives are up. Immortals seem to be shifting their sights down onto the Mountain Dragon. It is Mountain Soul that we have on the Rift. And I think Immortals are going to swap their power down here with CLG's bot lane down reset. This would be a wave they can secure it on.
Jeez. Imagine if Immortals are able to get the Mountain Soul here. They got Mundo already. You put a Mountain Soul on top of him.
That's pretty good.
How the hell are they going to be able to kill him?
That's pretty good. And I think Mountain's a really good role for Immortals as well, as they are dealing with a poke comp.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of damage. Bye, Prismal. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait. I guess Chad dropped the flag and got an assist that way. That's cool. That's a true heist.
That is. Get the kill for free. It is. And they get the dragon as well. Traded for the Rift Herald on the side of CLG. But those are big wins that they're getting. More gold into Arrow's pockets. 4, 1, and 2. Despite getting forced out of lane twice before level 6, has now bounced back in a major way.
That lead, it was in Prismal's hands, and that's the second, or not the first time this series that we've just seen him walk a little bit too far up, not be that respectful of where everyone else is on the map. And 4 deaths on Ezreal. I know it's been a lot of focus from IMTA, but still not the dream scenario as Prismal just respawn. But CLG's looking. They do have the package.
Package use. Cutting it off the 2 team members. Looking to see if they can have the engage with Chad and Concept. But they're pretty damn tanky. It's taken a long time to actually be able to kill anyone. Finally, they're going to be able to get the kill. But look at Concept. Kick back, still alive. Chaos Storm burning. The final spark might have gone wide, but they got the kill they needed to for Arrow. This entire time, it's a 1-for-1 trade at the moment.
And as long as these rockets are connecting from triple, IMT are happy to still stick around, as it was a great package coming out from the Corki. Totally split the fight, totally split Immortals, but Chad's the only one that falls. Concept still too tanky and was able to sidestep enough rockets where CLG just didn't have the damage to get through the Mundo.
Well, look at the builds coming in. Look at what Triple has. He doesn't have the Mythic yet. Still working on the Muramana, and went for Maw of Malmortius to survive a lot of the damage coming in from Pretty and Joey.
It's a defensive build, one that definitely makes sure you get out of lane okay, but yeah, I think we're seeing some of that damage curve we're used to seeing out of the Corki just be slowed down a tad. I know the package still has humongous base damage, and we are going to see that yet again. As I love this package from Triple, because it goes
really
corner
nice
to corner. There is no chance for the Immortals backline to get into this fight, and I think the big difference is that Prismal, he just gets to the fight late. He was never able to hit Concept.
No, and the fact that Arrow was on the other side of the package too, you might have taken a little bit of damage initially from it, but that's the main member you really need to make sure you're focusing on too. If this Caitlyn can continue to harass you because of her range on the other side of package that you can do nothing to stop her, it's not looking good towards this late game.
Is it just me, or does this Ezreal skin kind of look like Zeri? Just throwing that out there. When you land a few Qs, it starts to get going. It's got like a tail.
I gotta see the Q go out. You know, okay,
once you land some, because like once you hit the max passive stacks, you get the bonus.
Oh yeah, so you just get constantly.
It kind of looks like Zeri after that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see it.
It's kind of weird,
but it's not Zeri.
I wish it was. That's the wish that I had. I want to watch the most broken champion.
That's not gonna happen until next patch, because right now we're having a siege. Immortals nearly take down the turret, but couldn't quite muster enough.
See, it kind of looks like Zeri. Get the tail.
Or is it like? What is it? Godfist Lee Sin.
No.
No, I think kind of does. It's got like the particle effect.
We're out. CLG, they still have this big poke identity, so you can see them grouped up as 4 with the Karma, trying to take this outer as Prismal eats another nice binding from Joey, but this will be enough to get the turret.
Uh-oh, Chad's taking a lot of damage. Flag and drag away. Here's the Renekton on the other side with the flank. Arrow's pretty low. Another charge for Shelly onto the turret. Not enough to actually take it down fully, but there's still enough damage coming in from CLG members to keep Immortals pinned down underneath it.
I think the big thing for CLG is they just have to keep on marking Chad. As you can see, Chad, when he's chunked out, when he's not able to find an angle and find the engage, CLG can just poke for days with his Karma, with his Ezreal, with his Corki. And I know that the evolved Miramana, it does help for Corki, as I think once Prismal gets in base, he's going to have his own as well. This is the big spike that CLG was looking for. And now that it's an even gold game, CLG has somewhat pulled themselves back into this. This is a point where Immortals going into this next dragon. I'm curious to see what happens, because CLG, when you have Ezreal and Corki at this point, even with the Maw of Malmortius being completed instead of another damage item, you're still going to be hitting like a brick wall. And Immortals, they have some tankiness with Concept to try and deal with it, but I think it's really going to come down to, can Chad find a good angle? And can Joey maybe find a good buy? Because those have been the two big differences that have gotten Immortals to win fights so far this game.
And at the moment, they do have those members nearby. On the wings, looking to see if they can find any member of CLG out of position. There's still some time, 30 seconds until the next dragon spawns. Immortals would like to have that advantage, and if they can pick off the jungler like that, that means they should be able to cleanly take it.
And that's Rosethorn playing on a side of the map that he doesn't have. They have 4 mid and 1 top, so Rosethorn disrespecting the map state a bit. Immortals, a really nice punish. Now Triple will trade that out for the mid, or top outer, I should say, but this gives Immortals complete control over this dragon, and this should net them soul point.
Exactly. There's no real reason that CLG should be able to deny that going over to Immortals, but they're still trying to group members up for it. They got TP from Triple and Dokla if they want to look for a flank, but they don't have the jungler to be able to steal it away. The only real thing that might be able to steal it is this True Shot Barrage, but it was too early.
Let's scout them out, and now CLG, in this next 5-minute window, I'm curious to see how hard they push for this Baron, because if you get Mountain Soul over to Immortals, I don't know if Ezreal Corki have enough damage to get through that.
No.
Now, these two champions do a lot of damage, so if anyone's going to get through it, it's going to be a Corki as we go into the game. And Corki does have some armor shred on that Gatling gun, which will help, but resistances are not friendly to Ezreal, and that's already 2 Mountain Dragons picked up for Immortals, so
Cubby,
this game's getting more and more interesting.
there might be damage coming in from a Corki Ezreal, you know, but I raise you a Mundo with Mountain Dragon. There is no damage that you're going to be able to do to that Mundo.
Concept, you can see him posturing to try and net IMT this mid outer, which 23 minutes in, finally should be able to pick up for Immortals, as they are grouped up as 5. Pretty did just reveal himself with that laser. Not be enough for Immortals to commit to anything else, as CLG has gotten shove on both their side lanes. They have to respond. And if there was ever going to be a window for CLG to start the Baron, it is here. Corki, after this top wave, him and Prismal could collapse on this Baron. And now that they stopped the Lux base,
that's nice.
Let's see if CLG gets feisty. This is a good window for them to do so.
They got Dokla's TP up. They could easily see if they can get him in there, but Rosethorn is clearing out vision instead. It is a simple reset, as you had just said, Cubby.
Okay. That was the window. We'll keep on looking out for more as CLG. It's not like they do Baron incredibly quickly, but I think that this game, I know they scale really well. They have this great poke, but there are more and more windows where Immortals are, if they're able to find these angles and able to find this Mountain Soul, I think it really takes away CLG's biggest opportunity to win. They'd have to wait for Elder then.
Ooh, they got the root onto Chad. They followed up the Cataclysm. That ultimate, the final spark, does a lot of damage. Ace in the hole is going to be able to pick up the kill, even though Joey barely survives on the other side. It is a trade of junglers for junglers again.
Chad was poking around that Raptor pit. I didn't think he'd actually go for it, but him sticking around too long, CLG able to punish. Breezy, that root holds true. And that's just going to be a trade of junglers as this game continues to get weird.
Very weird. It is chaotic and all over the place right now, Cubby. We have 2 minutes and almost 30 seconds until the dragon spawns.
This is what we love in Academy, you know?
Hey, I like chaos. I like things that are all over the place. As right now, CLG were attempting to see if they could siege this tier 2 in the bot lane. They get the TP out of Pretty. That is a big cooldown. Now Burn on the side of Immortals. But look at how Concept is chasing down Triple. He is landing those cleavers constantly. 1, 2. Play Mundo Dodgeball, man. Come on, you got to be able to dodge these cleavers. You're getting hit by every single one out of Concept. He's chasing down 3 members of CLG all by himself in landing every single cleaver.
That is going to force CLG back, but I don't think it nets Immortals anything relevant, as that final spark doesn't find anything. But we are 2 minutes away from the dragon. Flashes are still up for CLG. That flash now is down for Concept. Joey also doesn't have flash, and I want to see if CLG can attack the right members in this next team fight around the dragon. I think that you have to find Joey. Unironically, I know that it's a Lux with the stopwatch, but if you are able to find the backline of Immortals, their comp will fall apart.
True.
You have to ignore the Mundo. He's too tanky.
I was about to say, but that's the thing. How do you get to the Lux when there's a big old meatball in front of you?
That's why I like the Corki package. It's pretty good at that.
It is true. A good way to cut off the team, split them apart. But we have to wait for that moment, because with a minute left until the next dragon spawns, CLG have to fight back some of this control that Immortals have been able to gather for themselves.
And you can see Joey, Arrow, and Chad, so much focus over this bot side, as Arrow even poking up, trying to get one of the big chickens, is not able to get any. And CLG, they can check all these brushes with Prismal Qs, but it's still a good state for Immortals. The fact they have control of this bot side river into a poke comp is very important.
That is always the power of having a poke comp. A siege is that you're able to utilize control over your opponents. They've got themselves in a bad spot. They're split up from Dokla. You might have TP available, but so does Concept. Chad takes a lot of damage. There's the TP coming in from Concept. Dokla's still on the other side, taking a little bit of harass from Arrow that entire time. Got 20 seconds until the next dragon will spawn. Immortals are the ones with the inside track.
Oh, nice breezy. Rosethorn, our chunk triple. He's going to follow up with this recall because he has package. So he's going to grab the package and TP back. And that's a big deal that they were able to find the chunk, because now this makes things a lot harder for CLG, who have to get back into this bot river. A lot of ground to make up. And you can see Triple trying to do it with the package, but it's tough.
Same with Dokla. Dokla's on the other side. He's got a flank, and they've got Triple with the package. They just have to be able to get inside of this zone. They got to get control back of the river. They got to burn someone, but it's Concept eating up a lot of the attention. Well, Dokla does the same on the other side. Concept hiding back towards the team, but look at Dokla. Look how low he is, waiting for that package. Not even down to 50% on the dragon. It's all waiting, all baiting it out. Who's going to get that first? It is so close between both teams. Dokla's even recalling. He's hoping that he's going to have enough time to be able to TP back into this fight.
He should, as the dragon is somewhat reset. Triple, that's a big rocket landing. But that package is running out. Is he going to use it?
He's got to use it soon. Looking for the play. There it goes. Right into the back line, but it's going to be the final spark. It's secured by Dokla. He makes sure there's no soul for Immortals, and now the fight attempted. Triple on the other side. They've got the kill on a Joey there. They got the kill on a Chad too. The kites continue from Immortals, but they got to be so careful with how low the carries are. Brady, he's in a bad spot, and he's shut down by Dokla. Looking at that Arrow, taken out and shut down by Triple. CLG, they pull it back out from nowhere.
What a crazy stance at the dragon. I have to see how Dokla was able to pick up the soul. But now CLG, I think the death timers have gotten long enough where they can actually rotate and take the Baron.
I don't think there's anything that can stop them from getting at that objective. They deny Mountain Soul for Immortals. They'll deny the Baron, and they are the ones with the gold lead.
And somehow CLG just cannot go down. In Academy, they've been on the hottest of hot streaks, as the only team that has 2-0'd them is 100 Thieves. No one else has taken more than a game off these guys, and that's going to be Baron going over. I thought that things were going to start to get doomed with this draft, but let's take another look at this, as Rosethorn wasn't able to kick Chad out of the pit, and somehow Dokla ends up with the dragon from all the smites and all the damage coming in. And then I love the decision making from Rosethorn to instantly flash over that wall. I think that once they take out Joey and they have numbers as they chase, that's when CLG just end up walking out saying, all right, this fight's ours. We did our job. We ignored the Mundo. We got the rest of the targets. Let's go get Baron and try and make the most out of this push. And this is going to be so tough for Immortals. I know Pretty has great wave clear on this Victor, but you're staring down a Corki that now has a completed Ravenous Hydra working on a Void Staff, and also Prismal, who's playing Eclipse Ezreal. This poke from CLG is going to hurt so bad, and you can see Immortals trying to find an angle.
Breezy's taken out immediately. This could give some fight back to Immortals, but that damage from both Prismal and Triple, chunking out Chad. That's why they had to have everyone shut down Triple to make sure that they don't just lose the game.
And Immortals, that brush pays off, as they were trying to, CLG was trying to set up the side lanes and end up pushing too far forward when they didn't see anyone else on sides. Dokla will take down that turret, but it's a 5v3. Immortals will not find anything else, but at least show some more fight to get back in this game. CLG not respecting that brush. They had a bunch of tools to check it. They do not, and Joey punishes.
The big thing is burning time of this Baron from CLG.
Yes.
Making sure as much time is wasted as humanly possible. Even though they do get that turret in the bot lane, they might be able to get the turret in the top lane as well. They're still making sure that the inhibitor turrets, those structures are still remaining.
And as time goes on, I'm really going to have to start to get into the lab here, Mad Magical.
Oh, yeah?
And the big question that we have is, what wins? Mundo tankiness scaling, or Corki and Ezreal scaling? As that's going to have to be what we answer as this game moves forward. And right now, Concept looking like quite the meat wall in the top side.
As Prismal constantly harasses him over
Just
the
catches
wall.
them all. He's cool.
Exactly. He's cool with it. It's going to be a lot harder if Prismal catches those cleavers, though. That's going to be the big troubling statement for CLGs, how they kite back a lot of these fights. I think that you talked about it really well beforehand. What Immortals need to make sure that they're doing to keep themselves alive. Because if CLG focus Joey, they lose that pick potential. They lose a lot that helps them out and supports them in the backline. And I think it's now on Immortals to keep Joey alive.
It's weird that we're talking about Joey so much.
I know,
but
it is.
I think that the Lux, you just have to get one rotation of cooldowns off. The reason I bring it up is that I think it's an easy target for CLG to find, especially when you have the package on Corki. There's really no way that Lux can deal with that. And now that Joey doesn't have that stopwatch anymore, it just makes him easy pickings. And so I think that's why it's interesting to see if Joey can position correctly. But we're at the stage where Pretty and Arrow are doing a lot of damage. Pretty working towards what could be a death cap now with a completed Void Staff, which is needed into the builds that CLG have. We also have Arrow sitting at 4 items with the completed Maw himself to try and deal with his Corki. So we're just getting into these big late game team fights, and that's when it really comes down to which team can find the first pick, which team can set up better. And that's where I think that Joey ends up being critical, because that's the person that if I'm CLG, I'm really looking at to try and set up as Joey catches one big rocket and gets dropped to 2/3 HP by Triple.
I'd have to be careful with this positioning as well. Look for the light binding, wasn't able to connect it. We only have 10 seconds until the next Dragon Sponge, and that's why Immortals are pulling the trigger.
Okay.
They have split them off from Dokla. That's an ace in the hole body block by the shields coming in from Breezy with a nice final spark, just chipping at some of the health bars from CLG. But they're in a really awkward spot. They are cut off from the team. Triple is going to attempt to recall, but they could easily burn down this Dragon if CLG aren't careful.
Triple has package and TP. They're going to see the Dragon and try and get the post fight.
They are just burning it down. They're doing their damnedest. Dokla doesn't even go over the wall.
Here comes the package.
It's the TP behind. But with the Mountain Soul, look at how beefy Concept is. They're trying to see if they can bait him into this really tight corridor, but it's all the while waiting to see if Dokla can get in there as well. They've got the damage. They've got the kill on the Chad and waiting it out. Rosethorn's still barely alive. Dokla flashed in, and he's got some damage, but he's by himself. He's got Pretty flashed away. They've got themselves so much damage, but Dokla might die now. With the shutdown coming in, Triple's into the fight too with Pretty dead, but Rosethorn's going to be the real target coming in from Arrow. He's chasing down these members. Final Spark blowing up poor Prismal. Joey's no support. He's able to take out the 80 carry while Triple continues to look for the harass onto Concept. But Mundo, he's so beefy. Mundo's got the damage. He is the meatball who chases you down. Reach Cleaver connecting over and over again. Arrow wants to be able to get the damage onto Triple. He had to flash for it. They get the kill onto 1, but now it's Arrow 1 versus 2. Rosethorn's still there, but with no Sonic Wave, there's going to be Immortals barely holding on to the soul.
What a banger to end the game, Bad Magical, as back and forth. The setup from Immortals, that trap line from Arrow, it just ensured that no one from CLG could find a fight until the package came in. And that's when Triple splits everyone up and goes for it as Arrow.
Arrow's just looking for a solo kill on the Rosethorn. He's only a level down. Okay.
Yeah.
If he landed that Piltover Peacemaker, he might have been able to go for a little bit more. But it's still risky.
He had red buff. He was looking for the auto, but Chad had a ward. All right, here's what I want to see. Second look. Chad gets kicked back. He goes down. This is after the mountain. I love CLG trying to pull this off as a team, but Triple had to go around that wall with a package. So he's not quite able to join a party starting from Dokla, who ends up falling. Once again, Triple splits the team with this package, but Joey makes a huge play. Just after Prismal gets slowed, the insta-flash into taking down the AD, that ensures that CLG can't win the fight and can't end. And now Immortals with this Mountain Soul, they feel empowered. They want to draw CLG's poke comp in. They are brute forcing this Baron, and they just might get it.
They are down to 25% health.
Triple's not here.
Triple doesn't even have package. It's going to be the Baron secured by Immortals with the fight continuing. Concept has focused off Dokla. There is no flank anymore for the Croc.
Mundo is so big with this Mountain Soul and all the items that he has. Him just taking that 1v1 in front of Dokla's face, there's nothing Dokla can do to get around that, as Immortals now with this Mountain Soul. I know they're down a little bit in gold, but who cares at this point? We're 35 minutes into the game. It's all about who has the better setups and who can execute their 2-threat comp better, as that's really what stage of the game we're down to at this point. And I think the big difference for CLG is that it feels like they have to have a package to get a successful team fight. Whereas Immortals, they can force without that package and try and punish some of these flashes being down.
Okay, look, we are 36 minutes into the game.
I want
We
Immortals
have
to send
a
it, man.
Mountain Soul on
Just send
Immortals'
it.
side. They got a 9-2 Caitlyn as well, full built on that champion.
So if I'm Immortals, I'm just looking for Chad. Chad has Flash and Cataclysm. There are members of CLG that do not have Flash. So I want to see if Immortals can group with Chad and try and punish, but Chad...
He's getting chased down by all 5 members of CLG, but
This
they
is
committed
awkward.
a lot for it. Look at Joey's damage. Ace in the hole is body blocked by Rosethorn, but all the while, Mundo is going where he damn pleases.
That's a Void Staff Flux. He just almost one-shot 2 people. Now CLG, they're going to have to reset. They cannot find an angle onto Immortals. This is certainly going to be an inhibitor falling in the favor of Immortals, but do CLG look for a fight after?
They're attempting to poke out the members of Immortals the best they can. Doklo went into the backline looking for Arrow, but he wasn't able to connect any stuns on time. Instead, they're getting Kite back, and look at the damage coming in. He's on a rampage. Concept this entire time has kept 4 members focused on him, and he's taken very little damage this entire time. Prismal, he's low. The inhibitor is gone. Minions are here with the Baron buff on top of Immortals. They might just take down our top team here. It is 37.5 minutes into the game, but they are toppling Nexus Turrets. CLG, they are going to lose. Immortals bounce back in a massive way. Boom goes the dynamite as Joey takes down Prismal for the final end of this game.
And that ends up being a big story in this game as Arrow and Joey that start to that bot lane. They had to base level 1. Arrow burned that flash. He was late to the wave against Nazriel Karma. But Immortals continuing to attack the bot lane of CLG, continuing to make plays when the carries of CLG didn't have cooldowns up, had those flashes down with this Jarvan. Man, that was a really nice game from Immortals, and I know that CLG also showed why they are our top team in the league. I think they played around sides really well, but they got outscaled in the end. And that's because in the early game, Immortals in their focused bot lane, that gave Immortals a leg to stand on throughout this game. And then you get to the late game, where you have Victor, Caitlyn with a Mundo frontline, and a Mountain Soul. There was nothing that CLG could do into that.
No, honestly, I have to say Immortals did get a little lucky with that roll.
Yeah, the Mountain Soul's a nice roll.
For a Mundo especially.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, because we saw that poke composition that was there for CLG. They couldn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, and props to Immortals. I think that especially that last Dragon setup they had where they forced CLG to retreat north, they were able to execute it before Triple was able to get that package. That is kind of the big difference about the quirky changes, that 5-minute cooldown on the package instead of the 4. That meant that CLG couldn't fight that Dragon initially with the package. They had to wait for Triple to get it in the post play. Immortals were able to survive that fight because Prismal went down. If Prismal's alive, CLG takes the base. Yeah. Joey took out Prismal, and that ensured that it wasn't the base going in favor of CLG. Then Immortals get back out onto the map with Mountain Soul. They blitz down the Baron, and then they have flashes down where they have Jarvan with Flash Cataclysm. Chad almost ran it, and it didn't matter because they were able to get CLG to base. It was a front-to-back with a Mundo in front, and there's nothing that the poke could do into that when you have a Mountain Soul Mundo at level 16.
Exactly. And with that, we have a tied series of 1-1 between our top team of CLG Academy and Immortals. I know, we got a lot of those today, but we're going to toss a break. When we come back, Kangas will be here for an interview, so make sure you stay tuned.
that I came from, and the pain that keeps keeping me strong.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, as we are here for our final post-series interview of the day. We have Immortals Academy AD carry Arrow. Congratulations on picking up a win against CLG, the #1 team in the league right now, and a nail-biter of a game right there. How's your blood pressure feeling, Arrow? You feeling good? Have you caught your breath yet?
My blood pressure is very normal. Maybe is it normal? Maybe heartbeat goes boom boom boom. But I didn't
Okay.
know it was first. They were first team. I didn't know that because I normally don't care about who's the opponent are and yeah, just focus on our things. So game, I think game pick and ban was fantastic, but first game we were a bit of this. Honestly, maybe this is leaking about strategy, but it was our first time playing Varus into that. So
Oh, interesting. What made you want to pick the Varus?
through the pick and ban, we figured out Varus
Okay.
is good here. And then, mm, sure, I can play because, I've been playing Varus in solo queue anyway, so it's fine. But I guess in competition with the team game, it was kind of slacking because I was not ready for it, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah, we have seen Varus kind of sneaking his way back into some pick and bans with more focus around 80 carries being banned out. So it's cool to see that your champ pool is at least opening up. But yeah, maybe a little more practice for the team of how to play around the Varus. Arrow, I want to ask you because you've returned to competitive North American League of Legends last year through Wildcard Red, playing through the amateur circuit. And now you're back in Academy here. And I mean, you've been a mainstay in the region, playing back at the top tier LCS back in the day. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on the current level of competition in North American 80 carries. Is it tougher now, or have we gotten weaker since the last time you played in LCS?
Oh, it definitely LCS AD carry. There are like comparing last when I was in LCS back in the day, it's really there are a lot of good players nowadays. I think like Danny is really good, Tactical was good. I mean Tactical seems like TSM right now kind of slippery, but I am pretty sure he'll be, what is it? How do you say go back to the his performance? I believe in him, and then
Return to form. Yeah.
FBI, FBI like all of the AD carry seems decent, and then even our team Turtle, like our games kind of said only lock in, but I'm pretty sure their bot is also strong as much as the other teams, so it just need teamwork more.
So again, back to the return to North American League of Legends. What made you want to return as a player initially? Because from what I remember, you were initially also interested in coaching. So what made you choose player instead?
Well, it's very complicated situation, but yeah, I wanted the coaching, but I wasn't like I wanted to coach because I didn't want a player, I wanted to coach. I did the coaching because I didn't have a player option. So, I need to make the money. I need to eat the food. I need to order some McDonald's for make the money, and then that's why. And then the process going on, I got the green card, so now I have actually a chance to compete for the players, and I still think I can compete in the competition scene like LCS or academy, even though it's like I am in the amateur scene and going to the academy. Still, if there is a chance to get in the LCS back, I just wanna finish my career in the LCS,
Yeah, get back to that level of competition. Yeah, and those nuggies aren't going to pay for themselves. What's your go-to McDonald's order? Now I'm curious, and I'm a little hungry too.
Ah, in US McDonald's is shake my head. I don't order it in US McDonald's. In Korea McDonald's, it's pretty good. But in US, I like the In and Out. I think comparing the
Okay.
price, I think it's pretty, reasonable and decent, tasty.
Yeah.
Well, I think In and Out is best. That's all. Yeah.
I agree. I'm a big in and out fan. I think that cost to calorie ratio, bang for your buck, it's hitting all the boxes. Now, Arrow, yourself included, there's a lot of fun personalities on Immortals Academy. So I'm just curious if you can give us some insight into what the team sounds like. What's the funniest thing that you've heard on comms so far, either between yourself, Chad, any of the members of Immortals? Because you all seem like goofballs.
Oh, funniest comments? Oh, well, that was a sudden question, so I don't think I actually remember it. But oh,
Nothing's coming to mind. It's
we
okay.
have a meme about like, yeah, Nautilus looks good here. We're memeing about it, and then every time on the competition game, Nautilus seems really weird. He just hook minion, he dies, or he just hook tankers, he dies. It's like whenever it happens, when we are watching together. Yeah, Nautilus looks good here, guys. It's just sarcasming
Nautilus
about
always
that.
looks
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right, I like that. That one will count. That one will count. Now, final question, Arrow. You're currently grinding Champions Queue. You're 17th on the ladder with 170 LP, above everybody else on Immortals. So, first of all, do you gloat to your teammates and try and get them to play more? And second of all, how seriously are you going to take the Champs Queue grind this year?
Do I? First, the question is, do I ask to our teammate like, yo, don't slacking fucking playing the game like this one, or?
Yeah. You like do you make fun of them for not playing
Yeah.
or not grinding as much as
Oh,
you?
okay. Yeah, I mean, these guys are watching it, but guys, I cannot believe I'm the oldest bummer, but I'm playing the high style play, huh? I guess. Yeah, that's my this carrot
Yeah,
and
there you go.
whipping. Yeah, yeah. And then I will take it serious. I'm taking this serious. It's a free money, and it's actually so good when I can play with communication with our teammates. So
Mhm.
even though when we were
Yeah, it's awesome
behind,
to see.
I had some games to back in the game, win the game, because we were like communication really well.
Yeah. It's been fun to see all the streams going on too. So hopefully we can hop into your Twitch sometime and see you streaming some of your games. But any final messages that you have, Arrow, for any of the fans out there watching along?
Oh, yeah, always thanks to the our fans and Immortals fans, my fans. So well, just cheer for us, and I hope we can perform, keep this well, and then yeah, hopefully we win a lot of it in this split.
All right. Thank you so much, Arrow. Really appreciate your time and best of luck going into your series tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, and with that said, we're going to bring back on the casters now to help close out the day. Cubby and Magical, a long day. 3 best-of-2 series, 6 games total, but you guys kept up the energy throughout. So I want just quick thoughts on the games that we had, while we also take a look at what happened on the Face It TV stream and kind of react to what was going on. Because we had
they had the
all
2-0s.
1-1s,
Wow.
but Cubby, they had the 2-0s.
Okay, I mean, I'm really surprised about the GGA TLA series. I got to go back and watch that one for sure. As I know, Ayla was back in.
Yeah.
But how much did we learn from the 1-1s today on this stream? That's kind of where my head's at, because I think that TSM winning a game with Shenyi, honestly, that was a bit surprising for me. I thought they'd get 2-0'd by 100, but I think 100 just made 1 or 2 mistakes in that game. And it kind of ended up being the same thing for a couple of the other games we had. Like FlyQuest weren't able to turn that 4K gold lead into a win. CLG, that second game, I want to credit IMTA for the proactivity bot side, but I don't think that CLG should be in that position either. So maybe some, academy greenness coming through. Maybe a bit of lack of experience when it comes to snowballing leads. But I think we also had some fun, bloody games. It made it easy to keep the energy up.
Of course. A Magical. It almost sounds like Cubby's shocked that we see a couple of misplays happening in the academy scene.
People are learning.
It's kind of the
People
whole
are
point,
learning.
right?
That's the whole point
I'm
of
not
academy.
shocked. I'm just saying, how much did we learn?
And I think a lot was learned today by a lot of the teams. So I'll say my voice is very, very tired.
I learned that a Mountain Soul
Fair enough.
Mundo outscales all. That's what I learned.
That might be the most terrifying thing that I've seen
Just
in
walks
recent
at you.
memory in all of League of Legends. literally just walks wherever he pleases. But let's take a look at not just what we saw today, but what's coming up tomorrow, because we do have one more day here for week 5 of Academy LCS in spring 2022. Again, there'll be action on both streams. This is twitch.tv/Academy. Dignitas just got 2-0'd. Team Liquid just got 2-0'd, and they're going up against each other to start off the day tomorrow. And then FlyQuest versus Immortals and CLG TSM, top versus bottom of the standings.
Hey, I'm excited for that second matchup, man. FlyQuest versus Immortals. I'm really excited for that. I think that there's going to be some bangers there.
All right.
I got 100 Thieves C9, man.
Tubby,
How could you not be excited for this one? As it is, C9, they've been looking really good ever since that first series. After the first series where they had Malice, after, you know, they lost 2 games in like 45 minutes combined. Ever since then, they've been looking great. And I think going up against 100 Thieves, I really am excited to see Kenvi and Malice clash. As I think that is a matchup where Kenvi is one of, if not the strongest jungler that we have in Academy. Malice has been someone that has a different approach to jungle, and I think that him and his team have been playing that rather well, just making sure that the jungler is always funneled, and whatever first move you make, you're the strongest that you can possibly be. So I want to see if 100 Thieves can maybe break that. They've been netting into a lot of early game priority. C9 has been netting in or indexing in towards like a lot of stat checks and the Udyr. I know that we saw Udyr also played by Romeo earlier today. So apparently Udyr is just now meta. I'm really curious.
It's 9-3, I believe, is the win-loss record for Cloud9 ever since Malice is in. So, hey, it's actually working out pretty well for them right now. It's exciting to see, and I even caught the end of that other stream. They're saying Cloud9 and LCS and Academy is changing the way that teams have to play League of Legends when they go up against them. And I think that's fantastic for the Academy League, because that means that, hey, these developing players get to see all these different strategies and get the reps in playing against them. But with that said, that'll wrap up the day, guys. We have more Academy action coming up tomorrow, so make sure that you tune in. Follow the twitch.tv/Academy and Face It TV channels. Follow Path to LCS on Twitter. And a special thank you to everybody behind the scenes in production for keeping the gears going. My lovely casters for keeping up the energy. Everyone in Twitch chat for watching along. And most importantly, the players for competing and putting on a show. We'll be back tomorrow to finish off the week of Academy action. See you there.